And welcome to the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 IM. I'm Pep Fernandez. That's Jeff Gorm, and I can't even really make sense of what went down in Week 10 of the high school football season, but we will try because the brackets come out tomorrow for the CIF Southern Section playoffs, and it was a wild Week 10 between the Thursday night games and, of course, last night. I'm talking about the Menifee Bowl. The River Valley League is an absolute mess, and I say it affectionately, but it is a mess.
We have a league champ in the River Valley League. 5 of them.
You did the game live on Riverside TV.
Yes, 5 league champs. So you go on Facebook this morning, and everybody goes, hey, Ramona Rams, we're league champs.
Yeah,
you go scroll down a little further down. Patriot, we're league champs. And you go, Hillcrest, we're league champs. La Sierra, we're league champs. Norte Vista, they didn't put it. And then you go down to Jurupa Valley, and there was nothing.
Nothing there?
Nothing there.
Well, we're going to make sense of all of it because now it was a coin flip. So they're going to be seeded in terms of playoffs. So all those teams have the same record. They're all league champions, but some of them might not get into the playoffs. So
well, they said it was a coin flip, but I heard it was Rochambeau.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, rock, paper, scissors to see who went into the playoffs. So
we got to talk about the River Valley League. We got to talk about the Menifee Bowl. Aquinas going 10-0 for the first time ever since the school opened its doors in 1955. So there's a lot of stuff that went down in Week 10. We've got Dennis Cutts, the head basketball coach from UC Riverside, as Jeff and I do our first Highlanders game today, 2 o'clock from the SRC. That's going to be fun.
Right after we get out of here, we're heading over to the arena and getting after it.
Packing up in our first UCR broadcast of the season. And, of course, we got the Norco Cougars in studio today as they're going to the playoffs again.
Wait a second. We have the Norco basketball team, right?
You would think, right?
Well, I mean, I read the score. It was like 84-43. That's the best.
83-42? Does that sound right?
What's one of those?
These guys know the exact score, right?
80 points, for gosh sakes.
I know. It's crazy, yeah.
Whew.
So they hung 83 on Roosevelt. We're going to talk about that as we get set for the Division II playoffs with the Cougars. And, again, the brackets come out on Sunday. It's all brought to you by our good friends at Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change. You'll be spoiled by their great customer service and low prices. I went there this week, got the mint on my dash. The guy even apologized. I was there barely 5 minutes, and he apologized. Hey, thanks for having some patience and for waiting. I was like, are you serious?
Well, you're Pep Fernandez.
I barely sat down. I could barely get a tweet out, and the guy was like, you're done. So It was awesome. Nice. I appreciate that. Ken Sporting Goods, more than 40 years in the Inland Empire and still going strong. We had the Charger girls at Ken's last week.
Yes,
Intern Cullen was there, so you can check out that video and pictures on the Inland Sports website right now. They do Letterman's jackets and all your sports gears, kensportinggoods.com. Boost Performance Training. We love Ray Bass and his team. I saw the golf guys in there, lacrosse, baseball, football. You probably do curling, Jeff, if you really wanted to. They can train athletes of all levels, all sports. Coach Ray Bass and his team at boosttrainingsystems.com. And Catalano Motors in Corona. You can buy, trade, finance a new-to-you car or truck, SUV. They got high expectations. They want to put you in the car of your dreams. That's right there off Temescal Canyon Road in Corona. Once again, that's Catalano Motors. And you can go to CatalanoCars.com. But right now, we got to get right into the football because we got a lot to get to, Jeff. It's a very busy show. We got Dennis Cutts coming up in the second segment, talk UCR hoops. But right now, we turn our attention to the Norco Cougars in the house, coming off that big win on Thursday night from out of the land of the Big Eight. And a huge win for them, 83-42 against Roosevelt. Let's start with Coach Chuck Chastain. And, Coach, man, I saw that score. I don't know, is that a school record, 83 points? I mean, did you have to dig in the record books to find out what that really meant?
It actually is a record. We set the record last year versus Poly at 79, so we broke the record we set last year with the offense. So, yeah, we were aware of that at some point that we were getting there.
So during the game, you're like, okay, we're close. Let's just go for it.
We didn't say go for it. Just we were in rhythm. We were playing well. The score makes it seem like they weren't in the game, but it was a little closer than that. And we were in rhythm, and it happened. So we're not trying to break records, trying to win games.
So obviously you guys run the football. Norco has a long tradition of a great big offensive line, running the football, ground and pound. You guys are throwing it this year. Yeah. I mean, Nick Lasher in the passing game, I mean, is it more diverse, should I say, on that Norco offense?
Yeah, we try to be as balanced as possible, and we believe in our receiving core and our quarterback that they can get the job done. And if they're going to stack the box and try to take away Travis from us, then we're going to throw the ball and let our athletes make plays. And so far it's been a good mixture, and our offensive line does a great job of run blocking and protecting the passer, the quarterback. So, we'll try to be balanced and take what the defense gives us.
I see Travis back there. Who else? Oh, we got a packed studio. A lot of big guys in here.
Yeah.
Who did you bring from the team today?
We got Brandon Kemper, our right tackle. George Alvarado, our outside receiver. Noah Regardless, our slot. Travis Dye, our running back. Izzy Hernandez, our defensive end. Blake Beach, our outside backer. And Nick Lasher, our quarterback.
Man, he looks like a linebacker. What's up, Nick?
Look, he's shaking hands in here.
Yeah,
what a
man.
good guy.
Polite. They score a lot of points. I mean, what's not to love, right, about the Norco Cougars here on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. So you look at the record, Coach. You guys, I mean, you were probably like the best 0-3 team of all time. Yeah, I mean, because your non-league schedule was daunting. Like, you played some really good teams. How did that get you guys better as the season progressed and maybe as you go into the D2 playoffs now?
Well, we believed in the kids we had this year, and we thought we could really test ourselves early and see how much we progressed from last year to this year. And when you got Centennial sitting in your league, you're going to play, a Division I team, top in the country. So we wanted to get ourselves ready for that game. And we're peaking at the right time, and it's just been a process. We knew going in that could be the possibility of 0-3. We didn't think we'd go that route, but it happened. But we learned a lot about ourselves and had to pick ourselves up the ground, and we're battle-tested and ready to go.
All right, where's Travis? He's hanging out in the back. I'll start with him, and we'll get all these guys on the microphone here on the Inland Sports Show for sure. Was it? I don't want to sell you short, but was it 7 touchdowns against Roosevelt? Just does it speak volumes to the way your offensive line performs and being able to create some space for you to squeeze through? I mean, what does it say about your offensive line in the run game that you can go for 7?
It says everything. Those are my big boys, and they're the reason why I get in the end zone 7 times. And I give them all the credit.
So we're looking at some highlights of your win against Roosevelt. If you're watching us live and amplified right now on the Inland Sports Channel, that is Travis Dye running wild on Thursday night at Norco High School in that big win against Roosevelt. Yeah, the guys are like, is it there? Yeah, it's really there. Big win against Roosevelt to finish in second place in the Big 8 League. And Travis, when we saw the Big 8 League in these last couple weeks, Roosevelt was in the mix, Santiago was in the mix. Obviously, you guys were as well. How important was it for you guys to finish strong and make a statement and get a couple wins at the end of the season to cement yourself as a playoff team?
It was very important. It was very important to show people what we can do actually as an offense and as a defense, as a unit. And we came out and we showed the nation that we're here. Football is here.
All right, that's Brandon Kemper, right? The big fella.
Yes, sir.
Brandon, when you got a guy like this, he probably doesn't need a lot of space. You know what I mean? But how does it affect the run game when he's running hard and he's going to get those yards for you guys?
When I know Travis is gonna run through those little slits of holes, it's crazy how big he could run it for.
So Norco has a long tradition of like big, strong offensive linemen. Do you guys take pride in that, being able to establish the run game and continue that tradition, right?
Yes, sir. When we went for the passing tournaments, we used to call ourselves ragtags because we would destroy everyone.
Ragtags?
Yeah.
In what you said, the passing game? Like, because you have to pass block too, but obviously the run game is what Norco's kind of built its foundation on for a long, long time. So that's Brandon Kemper. How about, let's see, Georgie Alvarado? One of the guys that Lasher's been throwing the ball to, right? So it's not Jeff's old school Norco team anymore. They're actually going to throw the ball around.
Heaving it all over the place.
Yeah, so Georgie, talking about the fact that you guys are so diverse offensively at Norco High School now, and you're keeping the other defenses honest, right? Because you'll go to the air as well.
Yes, we are keeping them honest.
So, I mean, talk about Lasher.
He's a man of few words.
Why don't you yell at your boy Georgie out? Come on, Nick. Nick Lasher, quarterback for the Cougars as well. Is it pretty exciting, though, that be able to throw the ball? And you got some weapons, man. You got some guys you can get the ball to, and they're going to make some plays for you as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they help me out more. I mean, I might not be perfect all the time, and they'll just make those crazy catches. Can't do it without the line, though. They give me all the time in the world. But, yeah, it helps out when we got Travis Dye, too, just running all over him so the defense comes up and then just leaves the hole for the throwing, too. So,
Coach Chastain was a quarterback, won a CIF championship, correct?
Yes.
Does Coach is he over your shoulder a lot? Like, is he always saying, "Hey, Nick, let's do this," or "Let's do that. You can improve this"? I mean, as being a former quarterback,
Oh yeah, he helps me out tremendously. He always guides me through and helps me out on like game days and everything. Like, he just gives me from his perspective as how when he was quarterback and just puts it on to me. Pretty good.
We got a room full of Cougars, and I've lost track. Bogardus, right? Oh, there he is. Yeah, there he is. I knew he
Hey, don't Bogardus this, man.
Another one of those receivers, again, who part of those 83 points against Roosevelt, and they've done it all season long for Norco High School, and they really know how to pile up the points in a hurry for those Cougars in that offense. talk about, again, you guys had a tough non-league schedule, but then when you got to face teams like Centennial and Roosevelt and Santiago, and now as you go into the Division II playoffs, do you feel like you're battle-tested? Like you've seen a lot of good teams already.
Yeah, definitely. Our first 3 games, we played Servite, Rancho, Olu, a bunch of D1 teams. They all had D1 guys on their teams, a bunch of D1 defenses. And then going into league, that just helped us out a lot because most of the guys in our league, they're good, but they're not as good as the private school league. And
Yeah,
then,
some of those parochial schools are legit, huh?
yeah, they're tough, and then that helped us out tremendously going against them.
All right, Izzy Hernandez in the house as well. These guys get all smiley when they get up to the microphone, right? Their 15 seconds of fame here on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. Izzy, talk about the fact that this is 31 years in a row that you guys will make the playoffs. Again, I know with this new playoff format, if you win a league championship, you're automatically in. But you guys are about as close to as you can be as a sure thing, right? Being one of the ranked teams in Division II right now. So was it important to keep that tradition going and get into the playoffs again?
I feel like it wasn't important. Like, we do this every year.
So you got to keep it going,
yeah,
right?
keep it going.
Because guys like Coach Chastain over here, who was part of the program as a player and, part of those teams that made the postseason, and now you guys in 2017, what did you guys have to do to keep the tradition alive and make it 31 in a row?
Just practice hard, work hard. I don't know.
It's funny you asked him, he's number 31, and you asked him the 31.
Oh, is that his jersey on the wall?
He's mad. We had to give up the jersey.
I know, maybe, yeah. Coach Chastain was kind enough to bring us in a jersey. I didn't know it was Izzy's jersey, but we have a number 31 now hanging in the Inland Sports Show studio because it's 31 straight years that the Norco Cougars have made the playoffs in the CIF Southern Section, which is an inland area record. It's a huge deal. And, Coach, we're honored to have that jersey, so we really do appreciate that. Who am I missing? Is that the last? Okay, 'cause all the guys are moving around like they're calling the audible, and guys are in motion. I'm just losing track over here. But we got the Norco Cougars in the house here on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. They are headed to the playoffs. What do you guys need to do to string together a couple victories in the playoffs and, maybe reach a finals? I mean, what do you think you guys have to do well to make it to the championship game in Division II?
I mean, I think we really just have to play consistent football. As a defense, we really got to get the ball to our offense. They're going to put it in. We just got to stay consistent. That's our main goal right now.
Do you feel like when you go into a game, like, is there a certain number you put in your head defensively? Like, if we keep it at 20 points, 25 points, we know the offense is going to be, scoring some touchdowns for us. We don't have to worry about that. But, I mean, defensively, do you know if you just hold them, make some stops, that your offense will take care of the rest?
Yeah, we don't really look at stats or anything. We don't try and think about that. We just try and do our job, just limit them as much as they can because they're going to punch it in. We know they're there.
What's it like playing at Norco when everyone's yelling like, "We are Norco"? And you know what I mean? Like the crowd's huge. You got guys on horses on the other side of the stadium on the rocks. I mean, it's a very unique place that loves high school football. Can you kind of put that into words?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great environment to play in. I haven't played anywhere else quite like Norco. It's incredible.
Let me get Coach back on the mic because I'm just curious. Some coaches, they're able to do that, like the bracketology, and say, we'll probably be at home. We might play this team. Have you done that, Coach? Do you have an idea who you might play?
They're laughing because I was working on it when they showed up at the office this morning.
Really? Okay, that sounds about right.
Stayed up all night tracking all the games and so on. It depends on how CIF use our schedule, and then so on. We get a good rating from the Cal Prep and so on. The coaches poll, we've been 5-6 right there since the middle of the season. We opened up 0-3. We come from a tough league. Obviously, I think we're good enough to be seeded, but I don't make that decision. If we get a home game, that'd be great. If they put us on the road, we're going to show up and play. But we feel good going to the playoffs. So I think we'll be somewhere 4, 5, 6, somewhere in there. But I think there's 9 first-place teams in our league, in our brackets, and we're a second-place team.
So they'll slot those 9 first, right? And then they'll place you guys. Even though you're ranked, that's just kind of how it works, right?
It depends on how it works. Yeah, our Cal Prep's rating and so on and our ranking are higher than some of those first-place teams. But they're a first-place team, we're a second-place team, so we'll see what happens. And, we'll play someone next Friday somewhere.
So there's a chance you could be home. I mean, but it's probably like a 50-50 chance, right?
It's probably 50-50 right now. The Heritage game last night was a big one, and they ended up pulling it out. So that chances are they'll be seeded. They were seeded all year.
Mhm.
We'll see how they decide that. So, it's up in the hands of the office in Cerritos right now.
Have you looked at that Heritage versus Olu game?
I've seen it
Because that's like a common opponent, right?
I've seen it a couple times.
There you go.
So, Division II is really competitive. Division I gets all the glory because the parochial schools and
Yeah.
so on. But Division II is no slouch, and we plan on giving whoever we face fits and moving on.
Now, is there a scenario, because if you were breaking down the brackets a little bit, is there a scenario where you guys could see Redlands East Valley?
I think that's a good. The more I look at it, I think that might be the draw.
It might be a possibility.
Yeah, I think that might be the draw for us.
Because when I first moved down to the Inland Empire, I think it was like a year or two in a row where Norco played Redlands East Valley in the playoffs, and it was battles. I mean, I think they were like 17-15, like kind of scores. Like they were low scoring. I think one of them was at RHS. I forget where the other one was, but it was like an awesome rivalry.
Yeah.
And then of course you guys all kind of went your own ways after the playoffs.
Just on a personal, it'd be great to face Coach Brook, and then we have a good relationship with Coach, and they have a great program, so that'd be a good matchup for the Inland Empire, and continue that tradition. Yeah, it was a great tradition there for a while. Them meeting in the first round or second round of playoffs.
Those were battles, man. The old school Inland Division, man.
Yeah.
That was fun.
The old Inland Division was fun.
It was, wasn't it? I mean, at least we knew like all the teams from around here. Everyone was familiar with everyone else, and now we got wacky matchups. Like, oh, it's going to be Norco against Santa Maria. Well, it's like what?
Yeah, if we were to draw Arroyo Grande, we're going.
Yeah, Paso Robles or
first round. So it is wacky, but we'll find out tomorrow at 10.
Although I heard those schools are moving to the Central section next year. Does that sound right?
There is some movement.
Like up there, Tescadero, yes. Paso Robles. But anyways, so it's 31 straight years. You guys basically sealed the deal. You guys are going to get in. So 31 straight years in the playoffs. During this stretch of this playoff run, 5 CIF championships. The last coming in 2006. You were part of the 98 team.
Yes.
What do you remember about that season, winning it all with Norco and being the quarterback on that Cougars team?
Hey, it's actually kind of similar to this season. We actually opened up the season there with a few losses, and we went into league at 2-3, exactly like we did here. And we ended up having Corona was really good back then with Heath Farwell and Andy Avalos, and we ended up losing to them. And we went out of league 4-1, so we had the same identical record right now as a second-place team going into the playoffs. And we were a battle-tested team that got on a roll at the right time, and we ended up pulling it out. So I see a lot of that team that I was on in this team I have right now, and we're looking to make a run. That's the ultimate goal, is to get to the finals.
When coaching up this team, do you reflect back on your playing days?
Absolutely.
Not to sound like an old guy, like back when I played.
I try not to. They'll tell you that. I try not to talk about when we played, but we got a few guys on the staff that were from the back-to-back undefeated seasons in the early '90s. And they always joke, "Oh, we have 2 rings, you only have 1." And to these guys, so we try not to bring it up, but Norco's based off of tradition, so it's kind of hard not to sometimes.
Guys, he's like Uncle Rico. You guys, he really is. Coach is like Uncle Rico. But do you know the biggest tradition they have? You know why their offensive linemen are so big?
Why?
Because in Norco, everybody in the town, they sacrifice a steer once a week, and then in the middle of the night, no joke, you can catch these offensive linemen just eating them raw. Just taking it down, they cow tip it first, and they eat it raw. That's why they're so tough.
I thought it was the funnel cakes, but maybe you're
no. They're like vampires. That offensive line, they go after the steers, man. They eat them.
Well, it's 31 straight years into the postseason. We'll find out exactly who Norco is playing and where at come Sunday. How do you watch the brackets when they're unveiled, Coach? Do you sit at home or are you at school with your coaches? And
we'll actually, me and the assistant coach will actually head out to Cerritos because we do the coin flips and pick up the tickets and stuff. The rest will be at the office waiting to go. And with Huddle these days, it's so easy to exchange film.
That's true, yeah.
Of CDs and tapes and so on.
VHS,
so,
the old school, right?
Yeah. And so we'll get the film exchange pretty quick, and they'll get working on it before we ever get back. But it'll be a long day tomorrow, but it's enjoyable. Hey, half the teams are going home. We're still playing, so that's the goal.
All right, well, the Norco Cougars in the house, 31 straight years. And, Coach, sincerely, that jersey's awesome. Sorry, Izzy. I mean,
Izzy, your number's different now.
Yeah, type in Max Preps. We got a roster change on here, but we appreciate that number 31 jersey hanging proudly here in the Inland Sports Show studio. Coach Chastain, thank you for bringing the guys down. We really appreciate it, and best of luck in the first round come next Friday.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having us.
All right, that's the Norco Cougars here on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM. When we come back, we're going to hoop it up with UC Riverside head men's basketball coach Dennis Cutts as the Highlanders set to tip off the season against Cal State Stanislaus today, 2 o'clock from the SRC. We'll be right back here on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports IE, 1350.
Okay, people, you have to tell me these things, all right? I've been...
I played once upon a time at Centennial High School. I was actually on the first ever CIF championship team back in 2000, and then my senior year we won it again. I'd say that's my passion because I've done it. You know, I know exactly where these athletes are at. I know what their mindset is right now. I know how hard it is to, number one, find a performance coach who can take you to the next level. What sets us apart has to be, you know, how we work with our athletes and what we know. We can take an athlete and you know, help them reach their athletic potential, you know, help them, you know, prevent injuries, help get them stronger. I know every single athlete who steps into this gym. I know exactly where they're at, and I'm going to progress them every week. If you're not getting results, then, you know, really what's it about? We're going to deliver something that's measurable, you know, in terms of speed, power, you know, strength, agility.
Thank God, first of all. I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, we probably wouldn't be here right now, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. Our service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very, very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
No way. Was that Uncle Rico?
It was Uncle Rico in our studio.
Yeah, Chuck Chastain, one of the nicest guys, one of the great football coaches in the Inland Empire. You called him Uncle Rico here on the Inland Sports Show.
Well, you're proud of me. You know, you won the championship, yada, yada, yada.
He brought us a jersey,
yeah,
Jeff.
You're the quarterback of the great Norco Cougars.
They won a CIF title.
You brought it up, bringing back the past and all that stuff, and boom!
Uncle Rico.
Uncle Rico popped in my head. But at least I didn't call him Dog Bite. That was his nickname growing
that's
up.
Right.
I should have said it, but he might have punched me if I said that in studio.
He's a tough dude. And that beard only makes him look tougher, right?
Yes.
So.
Game of Thrones. I'm telling you, every football coach in the Inland Empire is Game of Thrones.
Now, see, I appreciate it where, okay, so he had the big beard, and he had it nice and trimmed up, you could tell, but he was letting it grow out.
Yeah, well, his dad, I was telling you before the show, another legendary quarterback, another Uncle Rico at Norco.
And now official, yeah.
Yeah, he used to play basketball. He was a pretty talented basketball player, but he'd wear tank tops, and he was the hairiest guy alive. So no one wanted to guard Chuck. Don't guard Chuck. Don't want to.
So he was shirts and skins. He was shirts.
If he was shirts and skins, he was wearing a sweater, no matter what he was wearing. But yeah, no one wanted to guard Charlie Chastain. Good basketball player though.
Stud, huh?
Yeah.
Well, now Norco going to the playoffs, 31 straight years. We'll find out when and where. Tomorrow, we got the 31 jersey hanging up here in the studio. In just a couple minutes, we're going to switch gears. The basketball, Dennis Cutts, head basketball coach from UC Riverside, will check in as the Highlanders, in just about 2.5 hours, will tip off the season with an exhibition against Cal State Stanislaus. And Jeff and I will have the call.
We're going to have the call. It'll be the first time of the new-look Highlanders.
And also the new broadcast team. Hopefully you don't screw it up, right?
Yeah, somehow we'll screw it up. We'll say something silly. We'll get called into the principal's office.
Well, we just had the coaches show from Lake Alice this past Wednesday night, which was a lot of fun. Yeah, it was a packed house because it was also Game 7 of the World Series.
Scheduling.
And then the next night, we were live at the SRC as a pregame show for the big volleyball match against UC Irvine. We had Coach Cutts on that show. We had men's and women's golf, and that was a lot of fun. And I told you, what's the difference between the Dodgers and the UCR men's soccer team? Remember? Do you remember I told you that on the show? What's the difference?
The soccer team wins.
The soccer team wins the big games.
That's right. They got a big one tonight, don't they?
They do. So the Big West Conference tournament continues tonight. Oh, man, you put me on the spot. I think they're at Fullerton.
They are at Fullerton, yes.
So they had to win on the road at UC Santa Barbara, which is one of the toughest places in the entire country to win. It was the same night of the World Series. Season on the line, do or die, had to win, all those sports cliches, and they did it.
And we picked it.
And we called it on the coaches show.
First time since 2011.
So then we came back the next night on Beyond the Baseline, and I said, what's the difference between the Dodgers and the Highlanders? Highlanders win the big games.
That is true. And how fun was that, though? It was like a pep rally. It was like a Pep Fernandez rally.
It was fun. Both of them were fun in different kind of ways. So at Lake Alice, we were like on the stage with Riverside TV. They set us up like on the stage where I felt like a rock star. Like we were on the stage and the place was packed because it was Game 7 of the World Series and everyone's wearing blue. I thought it was blue for the Highlanders, but that's okay.
I felt like a hairband guy. Should have been on K-Cal.
Hairband?
I'm telling you, man, I was rocking out. But you know the big difference is? You can drink it, though, at the Lake Alice show. So people are having a good old time and imbibing, having fun.
Well, we had a great time at Lake Alice and Beyond the Baseline at the SRC, but right now, let's go to the Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change Celebrity Hotline. It's the head coach of your Highlanders getting set to tip off at 2 o'clock against Stanislaus, the great Dennis Cutts. Coach Cutts, how are you today?
Oh, I'm doing great. How you guys doing?
Man, we're just excited for basketball. Don't get me wrong. We love football. We really do, but we're ready for some hoops. Are you?
Yeah, you know, it's always a fun time of year to kick it off and get going and see how the guys react and play.
Well, we talked about this a little bit the other night on Beyond the Baseline when we were live at the SRC, but we want to ask you, so you got Stanislaus at 2 o'clock. Of course, you play to win the game, but what are you hoping to see out of your team, more importantly, as you get ready for the Cal Golden Bears next Friday?
Well, I want to make sure that we're playing with a lot of defensive energy. We talk about being able to control that. I know they're not going to play perfectly, but we need to play with a lot of defensive energy. And then, you know, we had a close scrimmage last week against San Diego, and we want to see some improvements of how we executed our offensive format and some defensive keys that we're looking for. So you're always just looking for growth. We did it in practice. Now we got to do it in this game.
Hey, Coach, I know you're busy getting ready to prepare for your game, but this afternoon we're having a pretty special day with bringing back an old coach, Larry Reynolds, from the past. You want to tell us a little bit about what's going on today?
Well, we're really excited to bring Larry back. He had a big impact on this program, both as a player and an assistant for 15 years. And when you hear his former players, he really touched a lot of people here. And it's important. This program has done a lot of work to try to bring back the past. And this is kind of the next evolution. We're able to bring back Coach Macy last year. There's been other players come back, but it was time. And it's unusual because he's always coaching and busy, so we just set up the opportunity to play his team, and it was an opportunity to get him back, get him recognized, and allow for all his former players an opportunity to see him.
It's UC Riverside head men's basketball coach Dennis Cutts here on the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. Coach, how might this year's team, how might this year's team look a little bit differently compared to the roster that you had last year? Is there any significant changes?
Well, we talked about it the other night. We graduate 3 players, but we have 8 more players available. Now, a couple are out for today, but when this team is fully healthy, it's as deep as we've had, it's as complete as we've had. We've got the ability to run a lot of bodies at you, both on the front line and in the perimeter. So that excites us. We haven't had quite the depth that we would want at this level the last 2 years, so I'm most excited about that.
Yeah, Coach, you talked about that front line. You have 3 giants coming back and playing for you this year. Kind of unique in the Big West because there aren't too many guys that can play with their back to the basket, step out and hit the 3 like your 3 bigs. I know we have big Alex Larson coming back, Mano Dykstra, but the new player, the transfer from Boston College,
Idi Diallo, right?
Yes. What about these 3 young men that are going to really bring to the table not only to your team for the preseason, but going into conference?
Well, I don't think anybody in conference play can go that deep, and that's really nice. They're going to be able to play together in the format that we've created, and they complement each other. All 3 can play with their back to the basket. Meno is obviously the best facing up. But I just think when you throw that kind of size at people at both ends of the floor, there's a real presence defensively with the length they're going to provide. And to have 2 bigs out there most of the time is going to be, I think, a lot for people to handle in our league.
Well, the season opener is next Friday on the road at the Cal Golden Bears. We get to see the Highlanders in action today at 2 o'clock at the SRC against Cal State Stanislaus. Coach, if we could just for the moment look ahead to that Cal Golden Bears game, how big is that for you guys to go into Pac-12 territory, go on the road, in fact, and see really what you got pretty fast?
Yeah, I think it's exciting. I think that's the great thing about being a Division I basketball program. We compete at that level where the expectation is to go in there and win. We have guys, and having this many guys back who have played, at this level, it's normal for them. It's not, anything different. So we're going to go in there. But what the non-conference does, it exposes some things you're doing well that you need to keep improving, and obviously exposes some things that you need to get better at. And it helps you move your team forward into January, February, and March. So just like any other game, we'll get through this one. This will expose some things, and then we'll get in preparation for Cal. But it's a great opportunity. College basketball, there's nothing better, and going on the road in college basketball is the best.
Well, if you're a Highlanders basketball fan and you can't wait till next Friday, check them out today, 2 o'clock, the SRC. It's UC Riverside versus Cal State Stanislaus, an exhibition game to get the Highlanders ready to go for the 2017-2018 season. Coach Cutts, we always appreciate the time, and we'll see you in about an hour.
We got it. I appreciate it.
All right, that's Coach Dennis Cutts here on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. Thank you, Coach. All right, so Coach Cutts and the Highlanders taking on Stanislaus, 2 o'clock, and Jeff and I will be packing up here at Fox Sports IE, taking all our gear over to the SRC at UC Riverside. We're going to get it cracking.
We will be on press row next to Coach Cutts. But if you're listening and you come down the game, come down and say hello to us.
Yeah, we'd love to see you guys. Anyone who comes on down, yeah.
I'm approachable. Pep, not so much. He has an entourage.
Sometimes
usually.
I bite.
Yeah, so make sure you ask somebody first if you can talk to Pep, and then we'll go from there.
Got people around. You got to have people around you.
Got to
right?
have peeps.
Got to have yourself a fall guy, right? I mean, like, who was that? The receiver for the Chris Carter,
yes,
who's now an analyst in the NFL. So, anyways, so UCR and Stanislaus today, 2 o'clock at the SRC exhibition game. So it's not going to count on the schedule, but it'll give Coach Cutts an idea of, like he said, areas where they're strong, and more importantly, areas that they need to clean up, work on before they see the Cal Golden Bears next Friday.
Yeah, they'll play different. He'll play different lineups just so he can see the cohesion between different, bigs and smalls. Go little, go big. It's going to be fun. I mean, it's going to be a new look. 8 new players.
You like the bigs who can shoot because you're a big that can shoot.
I
right?
was a big that could shoot. Heck yeah! And I'm telling you, Menno from heaven. Wait till you see this guy. He's the big red Dutchman. Red hair, he just stands out there and shoots threes. Good player. Man, I'm very excited to see how much he's improved.
All right, so we're excited to see the Highlanders and Stanislaus today, 2 o'clock, out there at the SRC. When we come back here on the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports, IE 1350 AM, we have to crown our Marines recruiting station Riverside Athlete of the Week. Plus, we're going to recap Week 10 and try to make sense of all these league champions and playoff positioning.
Playoffs?
And again, playoffs.
Playoffs.
And like Coach Chastain said, I know all these head coaches out there are trying to figure out possible first-round matchups. Sometimes they're right. Sometimes, the CIF will throw you a curveball, but we'll try to make sense of it when we come back here on the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM.
We focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. We just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. You come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
We're small, family-owned, strive for quality pre-owned vehicles. We're not a volume dealer, and we take every deal as personal to us. We're a low-stress environment. We're not a pressure sales house. If you want to shop us, you're more than welcome to shop us. We have, like I said, great rates, competitive financing, a lot of one-owner, clean Carfax, clean title vehicles. As you see, we have Carfax everywhere. That's most important to us, to educate our customers before they make a purchase. We're right off of Ontario, right off a couple exits off the 15 freeway, off Cajelco, off El Cerrito, and we're right on the main drag going into Dos Logos and the crossings. We have great financing, we have great lenders that we're using. We do buy, sell, trade, cash for your car. Whatever we need to do to help accommodate the customer, that's what we're here for. We have a little bit of everything. We start at about $69.95 and go all the way up to $100,000. We have Escalades, we have commuters, we have pickup trucks, we have Jeeps, sport utilities, and if we don't have it, our specialty is finding you exactly what you're looking for.
I do this on purpose, sir. Look, I tied him to the rear bumper when I was packing the car. It was very confusing. I must have forgot. I'm very sorry. I feel terrible.
Not as terrible as Jeff calling the great Coach Chastain, Uncle Rico here from Napoleon Dynamite.
You know, he's probably, he was dog bite before. Now he's going to, now players,
Rico.
his guys are going to be going, it's Uncle Rico.
Oh, my gosh.
I've ruined it.
Welcome back to the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. We're here every Saturday at 11 a.m. plus live and amplified right now on the Inland Sports channel. And please hit that subscribe button. We'd appreciate it. We're brought to you by Spoiled, quick quality oil change. Went there this week. Kin Sporting Goods, Boost Performance Training, and Catalano Motors in Corona. And quick reminder that we will be going, at least for a couple more weeks, on Sports Weekly Live on IEMG. It's your only place for all the high school football scores and highlights every Friday night from 11 p.m. to midnight, or online anytime on the IE Media Group YouTube channel. Check out the highlights from last night. Me scrambling to make sense of all the league standings. Jeff, I showed you right here, if you're watching us right now on our YouTube channel. I had all these notes, very copious notes, as I was getting scores and I was getting stats, and I was breaking down the league standings so I could go to the people and say, you know what? We've got a mess in the Sun Belt League. Elsinore, Temescal, Canyon, Lakeside, all at 2 and 3, but not quite the mess that you saw unfold last night at Novi.
No, and let's just put it this way. The River Valley League, you have first place, and then Harupa Valley got second.
Kind of, right?
If you think about it, everybody was, literally guys were going, hey, we're going to put a banner in our gym. We're going to put a banner up. Okay, well, there's 5 of you guys.
I know.
So 5 different banners. Who's the real champ? Everybody beat everybody, except for Harupa Valley, who got second place, which isn't bad.
I've covered high school football from the Oregon border.
You have
like
from
Wairika,
like Grants
California.
Pass and those kind of areas?
Pretty close. Yeah, Blue Lake, Tule Lake. Anyways,
Thule.
northern section, North Coast.
You said Tule.
Tule Lake, man. I think they were the Honkers. Tule Lake Honkers.
Tule.
Good football up there. It's one of my last games I covered up there before I left that area. But from the Oregon border down here to the Inland Empire, I've covered a lot of high school football for 17 years. I've never seen a 5-way tie for first place.
Nor have I.
And what have I been saying for weeks?
It was going to be a mess. You've been saying before the season started, you said this is going to be a mess. The River Valley is a complete mess.
And I say that affectionately because it was so competitive. So many teams were even. I'm like, this is going to be messy till the very end. And it was until like the last snap of the football. It was a mess in the River Valley League.
Yeah, what a great game. Novi goes up 18, and then Hillcrest puts 39 on the board, the next 39 points on the board, and you go, holy cow. It was a punch-out. The quarterback from Norte Vista gets hurt in the last 2 minutes. Game is basically over. They throw a lateral in the backfield. It's a fumble. Hillcrest takes over. They win. Great game.
So you had the game on Riverside TV last night. The guy who caught the game-winning touchdown, Elijah Dominguez, who somehow got around 3 defenders and went in for the touchdown. He had 3 second-half touchdown catches, 241 yards receiving. He is our Marines Recruiting Station Riverside Athlete of the Week. So congratulations to Elijah Dominguez from Hillcrest High School. Quarterback Jalen Jefferson also had a monster game.
Unbelievable. How many yards did he get passing?
475 through the air, 4 touchdowns, and he ran for 2 more. So it was a wild game, Jeff.
You know, from now on, we're going to call that game?
The Little Big Game?
No, the Brandorf Bowl.
The Brandorf Bowl?
Yeah, you combine them. They're going to play for the Brandorf Bowl. So this year was Hillcrest. They get the Brandorf Bowl.
Is it like some perpetual trophy that goes from school to school?
No, well, they just hug each other, and then it just passed on. So last night, Ken Batdorf probably went over and hugged Brandon.
Yeah.
I'm confused. I'm combining the names. So then he gets the hug for that year, and then whoever wins, they get the hug next year. And then
so you have to initiate the hug.
Yes, and that's it.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, it was great.
So it was 49-41. Hillcrest won. Ramona also picked up a win against Patriot. So what does that all mean? So it was a 5-way tie for first place, but here's how the seedings will go in terms of playoffs. Hillcrest is number 1, Ramona is 2, Patriot 3, Norte Vista 4, and La Sierra 5. So luck of the draw, Jeff. It looks bad for Novi and La Sierra about getting a playoff spot. It's the luck of the draw.
Yeah, it could be the last year. Last year could have been last year for Novi to be in the playoffs after going all the way to the championship.
It's crazy.
8 years in a row they've been in the playoffs.
It's just hard to see a team tie for first place and then not make the playoffs. But again, that's the situation we're in. I think Ken Batdorf was even quoted as saying You just shouldn't put yourself in that position in the first place.
No.
For something like that to, unfold on the final week of the season.
And to their success, think about it. They were 0-5 going into the league. They had 20 new starters. Out of 20 new starters. He pulled it together pretty well. The Braves look good. You had Cordell Labrie got hurt for Hillcrest. You had the quarterback at Patriot was out.
John Ober, he was out, huh?
Yeah, so, there's just a lot of things that happened. It was just a weird, wild, wacky stuff.
And Ken Mashinsky in his first year at Ramona.
Champs!
League champs. Hang that banner, right, at Ram High. And then, of course, La Sierra and Gary Headland. They had to forfeit some games.
They had, I believe, forfeit 3 games.
Yeah, and then they came back and they battled back to win league, right?
With 4 other teams.
Oh, man. It was a mess, but we love the River Valley League. That's why we love high school football, because it was wacky until the final snap of the football in Week 10 last night. So that was the River Valley League. We had our guy Cullen Holt down there at the Menifee Bowl, Heritage in Paloma Valley.
The Menifee Bowl.
Remember, Tom Tello, the head coach at Paloma Valley, was the defensive coordinator at Heritage.
That's right. And every year I pick Paloma Valley, even though if it ain't broke.
Sherrod White takes it up the right sideline.
It's hard to ever bet against Heritage. I just have to do it because someone has to get a win sometime.
Well, since dinosaurs walked the earth, Heritage has never lost a Sun Belt League game. They're a perfect now 40-0, but it was close. They had to go on the road. Across the street to Paloma Valley, and it was 41-38. So Heritage now 40-0. They are the number 2 team in the CIF Southern Section Division II rankings. Wouldn't you love to see a Heritage versus Norco game?
Dude, it was last year. They scrimmaged each other. It was awesome. I would love to see it. It would be a basketball score.
I'd grab one of those Inland Sports bibs off our wall in the studio. I'd put that on because there's no way I could talk about that game without making a complete mess of myself, because Heritage Norco would be awesome. Again, we'll see when the brackets come out tomorrow, but they might not see each other till like the semis, the finals. I don't know, but that would be awesome.
Yes, it would.
Awesome. So congrats to Heritage, your Sun Belt League champions. Again, a perfect 40-0, so that's 8 straight years with that victory. Another game, because there's some leagues where, like the sun rising in the east, you just kind of knew what was going to happen. So Citrus Hill in the Mountain Pass, Rancho Verde in the Inland Valley League, San G in the San Andreas. They kind of played itself out. Grand Terrace, we had them on the show last week because they had wrapped up the Sunkist League Championship. You kind of knew what was going to happen. But another one of those, I'll call it a River Valley League type scenario, was in the Citrus Belt League. Where
I saw that too. Crazy.
If Redlands East Valley could find a way to beat Cajon, we would have a 3-way tie for first place in the CBL. Or Cajon could just win the whole outright thing, the first outright title since 2010, and that's how it played out. It was actually pretty close for the better part of 2.5 quarters, maybe 3 quarters, but Cajon did go on to beat Redlands East Valley 35-14, the final score. So Cajon is your Citrus Belt League champion. Currently, they are number 2 in the CIF Southern Section Division IV ranking, so they will start out at home, and after that, we don't know, because there's a potential, Santiago matchup in the first round. There's a potential maybe Murrieta Mesa can sneak into the playoffs. That's going to be tough for the Rams out of the Southwestern League, because, let me consult my notes, the Rams were 4th place out of the Southwestern League. In fact, they tied for 4th place.
And they started off great. They were like 6-0 to start the season.
Yeah, they were. But Southwestern League's so tough.
Yeah.
So, again, if you're in 3rd or 4th place, it's dicey. I don't know how else to put it. You just have to wait till Sunday and see when the brackets come out, because, again, if you're not familiar with the playoff format, they take all the league champions, and then they slot them in the divisions.
Exactly.
And then they take all the second-place teams from the league, and they slot those in their divisions. And when it's full, and nobody else can come in.
Yeah, and sometimes guys like Ramona last year, ranked number 1 for 5 weeks, and didn't even get in.
Which is bizarre.
Yes,
right?
very much so.
So Cajon, big win against Redlands East Valley last night, 35-14. And how about Great Oak? First victory ever against Vista Murrieta, 26-14, the final score. Vista Murrieta will finish at 3-2 in the Southwestern League, tied with Great Oak for second place. Yeah,
that's shocking.
Yeah, it is. So Murrieta Valley, for the second straight year, your outright league champion in the Southwestern League. Shout out quarterback Hank Bachmeyer. We had him in the highlights last night on Sports Weekly Live. And when he makes his college decision, Jeff, what's he going to do?
He's going to do it here. And then, did you see Marquise Spiker?
Yes.
He broke the tied the state record for touchdowns last night.
He did?
He did. He is the.
We had him in the highlights.
Yes.
I didn't even know that.
He tied the record last night for the most touchdowns in California state history.
I had no idea.
I
knew he was close, but I didn't know he actually did it last night.
Did it last night?
So Spiker, who's also in the voting, he's in the running for the Under Armour All-American game. It's actually a popularity contest. You can go online. I know the Marietta Valley Football's Twitter feed has it out there where you can go online and vote for Spiker to get into the game.
I did.
Did you do it?
I did, of course.
Good. You can do it several times. Keep doing it. So for Marquis Spiker and Hank Bachmeyer, big connection there. And now they're in Division I, though, because remember last year in Division II, they went all the way to the CIF Southern Section Finals. They lost to San Clemente, but now they're in Division I. Things get tougher. And but as a league champion, they will start the postseason at home. So that's pretty cool for Marietta Valley. Speaking of records, so Spiker tied the state record in receiving touchdowns, correct?
Correct.
Well, Brandon Rankins at Aquinas High School has leapfrogged another
guy.
Back. Yes, he passed Deontay Cooper of Citrus Hill. So now Brandon Rankins, the San Bernardino King, has passed Deontay Cooper for number 3 on the all-time list. So the only running backs ahead of Brandon Rankins right now are the great Toby Gerhardt from Norco High School.
Pretty good.
And that number,
pretty good.
That number's way up there, Jeff. I don't know if he's going to chase him down. But number 2, Kenyon Barner of the Philadelphia Eagles and out of Notre Dame.
Yeah, I met him. He was wearing yellow shoes.
That's right, when he was still with the Chargers.
Yeah, and I was like, wow, those are some yellow shoes.
So as an Aquinas guy, you got to know he's like, I'd love to pass that Notre Dame.
Of course, of course. Did the Pope show up last night for their undefeated season?
Yeah, you would think, right? But no, he didn't.
The Pope Mobile drive around the track, give a wave. Just one time?
You would think, right? No, it did not happen. But speaking of 10-0, they went 10-0 for the very first time ever in school history. So 10-0 during their regular season, and they are the number 1 ranked team in Division IX. So there's a good chance Aquinas will see a couple home games as they go through the CIF Southern Section playoffs.
They beat Ontario Christian 52-0, I believe.
Yeah.
And I saw Ontario Christian. They're a pretty good ball club. And I am telling you, Aquinas is a juggernaut.
Man, they are so good. Like we said, Oktoberfest in November.
I drive there,
with all those great German players, and of course Brandon Rankins as well. And they got some great local guys like Marcellus Gooden. So Aquinas is stacked.
Yeah.
They're 10-0. Rankins is breaking records. This is like one of those magical seasons where just kind of everything comes together, and we'll see if Aquinas can cap it all off with a CIF Southern Section Division IX title, and then state. If they happen. First things first, get through CIF, but then they can still make some noise at the state level as well. Because if you remember, they lost by 1 point in the finals last year.
Oh, that's right. But if they win state, will the Pope show up? Will they get invited to the Vatican?
Can you right now, can you find out on your phone, does the Pope have his own Twitter? And can you tweet at him and ask him if the Aquinas Falcons win the Division IX title in the highly competitive CIF Southern Section, could he make a trip out here to Southern California to San Bernardino and check out the Falcons? That would be great.
If he doesn't have a Twitter handle, he should. If not, I have some friends in Italy. I do. I have some friends. Maybe I'll have them knock on the front door and say, hey, why don't you show up for Aquinas?
I'm sure there's probably not heavy security, so that'd be okay.
Yeah, let's see. What would he be under on Twitter? Would it be the Pope?
Man.
The Pope.
El Papa.
Pope.
All right.
Let's see. Wait, hold on.
Oh, wait, so real quick, guys, you're looking that up. Quick reminder. Tonight, 6 o'clock, live on IEMG, myself and Vinny Fazio will have SBVC against Victor Valley football. Watch it live on the IE Media Group YouTube channel because they tape delay it for TV like by a week. So if you're looking for it tonight, you're not going to see it. It's about a week. So watch it live on IE Media Group YouTube channel. Victor Valley against SBVC. 6 o'clock kickoff. We'll go live about 5:55 or so with a quick little pregame show.
Will there be a new bow tie from Vinny Fazio?
Probably, but he might be bundling up. It might be cold because picture the press box. We're above the press box, and it gets cold up there.
I'm telling you, man. Last night, Gazal and I were freezing. We huddled. We cuddled with each other.
Did you really?
We did. We were cuddling.
Who spooned who?
I spooned him. Okay. He's very, very. Look at it. He's got a great mane of hair. He was very comfy. We were cozy.
Did you find the Twitter feed, Jeff? We're running out of time.
Yeah, there's no Pope.
Pontifex.
What?
Yeah. Pope Francis, dude. Pope Francis, right here. Kono found it. Pontifex. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna follow him. He better follow me. Pope, you better follow me, for gosh sakes.
Tweet him right now.
I went to Catholic school. You better follow me.
We got to thank our sponsors. They allow us to talk about the Pope and Chuck Chastain calling him Uncle Rico and all those kinds of good things. It's Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change. I was there this week again, get my car dialed in because we've got a crazy week for Inland Sports. Ken Sporting Goods, more than 40 years in the Inland Empire, and they dominate all your sporting gear needs. Letterman's jackets, embroidery, check them out. Also, Boost Performance Training, Ray Bass and his team. Man, they will train you up. They will get you at the highest level. I don't care what sport you're in, youth level, trying to make it to the pros. They do all of that. Go to boostperformancesystems.com. And our newest sponsor, Catalano Motors, right there off Temescal Canyon Road in Corona. Sweet rides right there in a great location. Derek Catalano will hook you up. He'll make buying a car fun, I guarantee it.
Minivan?
If you really want another minivan, Jeff, he could do that too. But I'm
love
going to call
it.
Derek right now at Catalano Motors and say, listen, don't let Jeff get the minivan. Put him in something sweet.
I love the minivan. I can't handle it. I love it.
Jeff and I will see you 2 o'clock from the SRC. It's UC Riverside. Exhibition opener against Cal State Stanislaus. We will have it live. And a shout-out to Colton High School.
Colton!
Big win against Summit.
Jackets!
We're dancing in the streets for the Yellow Jackets. We'll see you next Saturday at 11 a.m. right here on the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 a.m.
Do you think people will vote for me?
Heck yes, I'd vote for you.
Like, what are my skills?
Well, you have a sweet bike, and you're really good at hooking up with chicks. Plus, you're like the only guy at school who has a mustache.
I started to...
Welcome to the local sports leader in the Inland Empire, the Inland Sports Show. You can find us on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM every single Saturday at 11 a.m. plus live and amplified around the world on the Inland Sports Channel on YouTube. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button.
This is Kenny Clark from the Green Bay Packers, and you're watching the Inland Sports Show.
Inland Sports is the undisputed sports leader in the IE and 2-time finalist for the top TV radio show in the Inland Empire. Thanks to our big-name guests, exclusive interviews, video highlights, and of course, nobody breaks more news than Inland Sports. Hosted by Big Salty Jeff Gorham and the IE Media Personality of the Year, Pep Fernandez. Honored by the CIF Southern Section with its Champion for Character Award, the National Football Foundation, the Southern California Football Coaches Association, the Inland Empire Baseball Coaches Association, and the San Bernardino City Unified School District. We've teamed up with some outstanding companies in our community that are proud to call the IE home, and they care about local sports.
Hey, what's up, Pep? You too cool to come down here, man? Too big time now?
You can join our team too. If you're a local business or owner, shoot us an email at inlandsportshow@gmail.com. Nobody covers local sports like Inland Sports. Find us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
Always want to play the best teams, even in the playoffs. If we win the playoffs, I want it to be like we earned it.
Help us spread the word, and thanks for making Inland Sports the local sports leader in the Inland Empire. Welcome to the local sports leader in the Inland Empire, the Inland Sports Show. You can find us on Fox Sports IE.
Being powerless to move, and he felt doom itself breathing chill upon his neck. In that very instant, he heard a crashing in the undergrowth. 4 figures were tearing toward him through the jungle. He could see them now. He turned and ran blindly down the trail, slipping, sliding, stumbling, his breath all but choking in his throat. Only one thought gave him courage as he